Have you ever seen two birds sitting quietly together on a tree near your home and wondered why they chose each other? Out of all the birds flying through the sky, searching for food, and moving through the same area, why did those two end up together? It may seem like a simple question, but the answer takes us back millions of years into a world that looked very different from the one we know today. Long before cities, roads, and even humans existed, ancient birds were already facing one of the most important decisions of their lives. They had to choose a partner. But how did they do it? How could a bird know which mate was the right one in a world filled with danger, competition, and survival challenges? The strange thing is that no bird school existed. No parent could explain the rules. Yet generation after generation, birds somehow found partners, raised families, and passed their traits into the future. If they had failed, many of the birds we see today might never have existed. Before we uncover the clues, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tell me in the comments. What do you think ancient birds noticed first when choosing a partner? Was it appearance, behavior, strength, or something else? The answer may be far more surprising than you expect. Scientists believe these choices shaped the evolution of birds in ways that are still visible today. Every beautiful feather, every impressive song, and every unusual display may have started because ancient birds were trying to answer a simple question. Who should I choose? Imagine an ancient forest filled with strange bird ancestors unlike anything alive today. Some were small, some were larger, some had brighter colors, others had stronger bodies. Every bird had advantages, but not every bird found a mate. This created a mystery that has fascinated researchers for years. What made one bird stand out while another was ignored? So what was the first thing ancient birds looked for in a partner? The truth is, no one can travel back millions of years to watch those moments happen. But scientists have found something almost as interesting. Many of the clues may still be alive today. When researchers observe modern birds, they often see behaviors that seem far too important to be random. A bird may spend time watching another before moving closer. Some perform special movements. Others show off their feathers. Some sing. Others simply stay nearby and wait. Why would they do this? Because choosing a partner was never just about finding another bird. It was about survival. Imagine living in an ancient world filled with predators, changing weather, and constant danger. A poor choice could mean fewer chances of survival for future chicks. A good choice could help a family thrive. That is why scientists believe ancient birds were looking for signs. Not signs of love in the way humans think about it. Signs of health. Signs of strength. Signs of survival. A bird with bright feathers may have shown that it was healthy. A bird with strong flight skills may have shown that it could find food and avoid danger. Even simple behaviors could reveal important information. And this is where things become fascinating. The first bird to impress a potential mate may not have been the strongest bird in the forest. It may have been the bird that communicated its qualities most effectively. In other words, attraction may have started as a form of messaging. A silent way of saying, I am healthy, I am capable, I can survive. Over time, these small signals may have become more complex. Tiny displays may have turned into dances. Simple calls may have become songs. Ordinary feathers may have become colorful patterns designed to attract attention. Generation after generation, birds that succeeded passed these traits forward. And slowly, something extraordinary began to happen. Ancient courtship started evolving into the incredible displays we see in birds today. But another mystery remained. If many birds were trying to impress the same mate, what happened when two rivals wanted the same partner? That is where the story becomes even more surprising. What happened when two birds wanted the same partner? This is where the ancient story of bird love becomes much more dramatic. Imagine a forest millions of years ago. Several birds notice the same potential mate. Each one wants to be chosen, but only one can succeed. So how did they compete? Many people imagine fighting, and sometimes that did happen. But scientists believe that competition was often much more interesting than a simple battle. Instead of relying only on strength, many birds began trying to stand out. One bird might perform a special movement. Another might sing longer. A third might display its feathers in a way that made it impossible to ignore. The goal was simple: get noticed, and that created an incredible chain reaction through time. The birds that attracted mates were more likely to pass their traits to the next generation. Over thousands and millions of years, those traits became stronger and more impressive. That may be one reason why some birds today perform such amazing courtship displays. Think about the beautiful dances of cranes, the colorful feathers of peacocks, the complex songs of songbirds. These behaviors did not appear overnight. They may be the result of countless generations of birds trying to answer the same question. How do I become the one that gets chosen? But there is another side to this story that is often overlooked. Not every choice was based on beauty. Researchers believe behavior was also important. A bird that could find food, defend territory, or care for future chicks may have been far more attractive than one that simply looked impressive. In other words, ancient birds may have been looking for something deeper than appearance alone. They were looking for qualities that increased the chances of survival. And that changes the way we think about bird love. Because it was never only about attraction. It was also about trust, about safety, about building a future. And once two birds finally chose each other, a completely different chapter of the story began. A chapter that still plays out in forests, gardens, and backyards all around the world today. And that chapter is still happening today. Every morning, somewhere in the world, a bird begins to sing. Another bird watches from a nearby branch. A colorful display takes place. A dance begins. A choice is made. At first, these moments may seem ordinary. But when you remember that similar choices have been happening for millions of years, they suddenly feel much more extraordinary. The birds we see today are carrying ancient behaviors that survived through countless generations. The songs, displays, and courtship rituals we witness are not new. They are echoes from a distant past, passed from one generation to the next through the long story of evolution. That is what makes this mystery so fascinating. The love story of ancient birds never truly ended. It simply continued. The robin singing outside your window, the pair of doves sitting together on a wire, the birds building a nest in a nearby tree. All of them are part of a story that began long before humans ever existed. And perhaps the most surprising thing is that, despite all the changes the world has seen, the goal remains the same. Finding the right partner, building a future, giving the next generation a chance to survive. In many ways, bird courtship is about much more than attraction. It is about trust, commitment, and the hope of creating something that lasts beyond a single lifetime. The next time you see two birds together, take a moment to watch them. You may be witnessing a small part of one of nature's oldest stories. A story that has been unfolding for millions of years and is still being written every single day. Now I'd love to hear from you. What bird do you think has the most fascinating courtship behavior? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more amazing bird mysteries and stories from nature. Until next time, keep looking a little closer. Nature often hides its most beautiful stories in the simplest moments.